Good morning and welcome to Top Gun Options Tuesday Market SITREP. I'm Wiz here at Top Gun Options, the CEO. And folks, second day of earnings season, and it really is kind of a whimper market. And futures were initially indicating lower. Market opened up. Now, as we get into the trading day, the market's trading down. Remember, folks, it's amateur hour. The first hour of trading is amateur hour. There ain't no institutions really trading, and price discovery probably comes after about 45 minutes to an hour after the open. So we're really getting a hypoxic here, running out of airspeed after this PAL put and this PAL put, as earnings are really underwhelming, and I'm going to get into them in a little bit. But I want to brief strategically what's going on. Iran's going to poke its ugly head up sometime this year. At the end of the day, Iran they announced yesterday they're still enriching uranium, or are enriching uranium. Oh, color me shocked. A country that screams death to America on a daily basis, enriching uranium and saying they want to, when they get a nuke, not if, they want to wipe Israel off the face of the earth. I'm the type of guy that actually believes that we should listen to what these type of countries say and believe them and take their word at it, and we need to act first. So the fact that people were shocked when the new National Security Advisor, John Bolton, asked the Pentagon for striking Iran plans, it isn't shocking. That's what we do. I'll be honest with you, when the vast majority of time I spent in the Arabian Gulf, wasn't worried about strike planning into Iraq. That was known. That was done. We spent 90% of our time strike planning against Iran. Really like, again, what's going on down south in Brazil. Best stock market in the world right now is the Bovespa. Love what this guy said yesterday, the Bolsonaro. He blasts the left's Marxist indoctrination, enslaving kids to welfare dependence. This dude is awesome. He's like, I'm changing the school system, man. I'm done with a bunch of liberals teaching Marxist indoctrination to our kids and destroying our country. This dude's awesome. EWZ continues to power a little bit higher day after day as this guy starts delivering on his promises he made during his inauguration. We got in right around here, right around the runoff election. Our EWZ, the ETF itself, is up 34% since I said to get into this thing. We've been trading EWZ for 6-7 years, since the World Cup, the Olympics, through scandals that I personally knew people in the scandals, the Batista brothers that own JBS. So again, EWZ is the place, one of the best places to be right now. China's slowing down, folks. December trade data were bad and likely to get worse. The president ordered deployment of B-2 stealth bombers to Hawaii. The last time we had bombers on alert 24/7 was when? 1991. George Bush Sr. Actually stood those down. When the Berlin Wall fell, we kind of said, hey, why is the Strategic Air Command sitting 24-hour alert? And we stood it down. Now we're standing them back up. So yesterday, folks, China pledged economic stimulus. What did they do? China's finance ministry last night, their day, pledged to cut taxes and boost spending. That kind of sounds like it's from somebody's playbook, Trump, to cut taxes and boost spending to fight a slowing economy. What happened? Nice little pop out of the FXI yesterday. Shanghai was up 2%, and then it started to sell off. Every time, we've been doing this for about 8 months, folks. Every time the Chinese government announces some sort of magic elixir, you get a little bit of a pop, and then it drops. Every one of these, I can tell you exactly why this thing popped and its subsequent drop. So we're going to take a look at a bear call spread today at 1 o'clock in our primary live trade brief on China on the FXI. Morgan Stanley, folks, is not believing Citi and Bank of America last week said, hey, man, this thing's over. It's over with, this bad market, and get in. And I completely disagree with it. I agree with Morgan Stanley for all the reasons that they lay out here. It's time to start selling again. Jerome Powell is done talking for a little bit. And this is Jerome Powell, the head of the Federal Reserve, caused this market implosion right here, and he caused this market turnaround here and here with his words. Now that we're done with him, and we know that the Fed's a little bit dovish, what's going to keep powering this market higher? It ain't going to be the earnings that we're seeing, because I'm about to brief you on them. So everybody's eyes right now in earnings are on corporate guidance. What's the forward look, right? Nobody cares how you did last quarter. everybody cares what you're going to do next quarter or in 2019. So that's what we're really looking for here. Slower earnings growth, gloomy forecasts add to stock markets woes. I really do think we're going to go lower. Apple 2 weeks ago rattled markets, a warning about China. Well, who's the next shoe to fall, so to speak? And we've talked the past couple weeks about backwardation, meaning front month VIX volatility futures are a hell of a lot more expensive than the further out months, which means the market is forecasting in a lot more volatility than you're seeing in this chart. This is a mom and pop rally. This is not an institutional rally. There have been some funds buying, sovereign wealth funds, endowments at universities, those type of things. They have to buy in January. They rebalance their portfolios. But this ain't, and this is a little old lady in tennis shoes. This is a mom and pop rally. This is not an institutional rally. Just like Morgan Stanley, Macquarie came out with a report the other day that said, hey, we're going to revisit the lows of 2018, right? Those December lows, what was that, down here at about 23.50. I agree with Macquarie and Morgan Stanley. JP Morgan, profit rose 67%, excuse me, despite cost increases, but their FICC, fixed income currency and commodity trading division, absolutely imploded. The nation's largest bank by assets, Fortress JP Morgan, encountered difficult trading conditions offset by a strong economy. Not the best earnings report. And Jamie Dimon literally on the conference call said, I really don't care about our trading department. Other stuff's maybe kind of sort of doing good. They did not do as good as last quarter. Not a glowing earnings report, folks. And guess what happened last time? Last quarter's earnings, right around here, JP Morgan reported blowout numbers, and the stock went down and the market went down. So now they're reporting less than blowout numbers. What do you think we're going to do? Go higher? So JP Morgan reports huge trading miss, the lowest level since the financial crisis. Who else reported today? Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo is more of a canary in the coal mine to me. Wells Fargo is a mom and pop bank on the street corner. Auto loans, small business loans, mortgages. It ain't a blue blood JP Morgan. What happened? The San Fran Bank's mortgage fees dropped 50% in the latest quarter as interest rates went up. But check out this headline. Their mortgage numbers were the worst since the financial crisis. So this is the second bank in a row I said something hasn't been this bad since when? The financial crisis. That should make you sit up in your chair right now and say, am I the type of person to think this market is just going to rip higher here on these bad bank numbers or what? I mean, Citi yesterday, not necessarily the best earnings. So you got to... yesterday in the weekly options brief, I didn't get a chance to answer the specific gentleman's question, but he's like, the stock's up 4%. I get that it's up 4%, but if their fixed income crashed 20%, almost the worst since the financial crisis. And here's the big takeaway is right down here. Citi reported EPS slightly better than consensus, thanks to what? A drop in their effective tax rate. So, for all these idiots that really don't, you got to get past the headline, folks. If you're just sitting here trading headlines, you don't know what you're doing. One of the reasons they beat was because their effective tax rate went down. Thank you, Donald J. Trump. But that ain't. It's already down now. Now what? Now we're already looking forward. So this isn't, you got to dig into stuff, folks, and that's why you want to be here at Top Gun Options, because I'll do the digging for you and dig underneath the headlines and tell you what's really going on here. Citi missed a full-year profitability target by an even bigger margin than it signaled only 5 weeks ago. So again, folks, amateurs trade the open and then the pros get in. We are out of airspeed here. We're going to level off, and I think we're actually going to head lower. I think we're going to retest 2,500 here. Remember, what's coming up in about 15, 16 days? February. Everybody hates February. Hockey's over with. You got Valentine's Day. It's miserable, except for down here in Florida. It's freezing around the United States. February is one of the most volatile months in the stock market. Anybody remember what happened last February? Yeah. The market absolutely imploded. So I think we're seeing a little bit of a calm before the storm. I definitely do not think this market is ripping higher. I'm not a buyer here. I'm a seller. Okay. All right. I got to run. I got an 11 o'clock coaching session with Mike. And then, Deb, I have you after the primary live trade brief today. Okay, and then if you're one of my coaching clients, folks, I'm flying out Thursday. There's not going to be any Analyze Your Trade on Thursday. I'm going to be a plane to Pittsburgh for a hockey tournament with my son. But shoot me an email, and I'll get you set up for Friday. I can coach on the road up there in Pittsburgh. Okay, all right, folks, have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge. I'll see you at 1 o'clock in the Primary Live Trade Brief. God bless.